show, during which you are encouraged to join the conversation. If you have a question or comment along the way you'd like to make, our phone lines are now open, 206-1580 or 888-441-1580. As is the practice, when your phone call comes in, just about everything stops, and we go right to your question or your comment. And now here's the host of your show, Dr. Elizabeth Triana. Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. And we have quite a nice group here in the studio, and I'd like to welcome everyone. We have a special guest, Lee Stein, who's going to tell us his heart story. We have Jennifer Ewing, Masters of Public Health, who works at the Triana Prevention Center. We have Todd Matthews, and we have the photographer and artist Peter Attari. Boy, are we lucky. We have so many people here. It's so much fun. Anyways, as you all know, this is February, Heart Month, right, Jennifer?
Yes, ma'am.
What about those Valentines?
Well, we created a Heart Healthy Valentine from the Triana Prevention Center to any of the listeners who would like to receive a Valentine. We invite you to stop by the Triana Prevention Center any day during the week to pick up yours. They are handmade with you in mind. And then when you turn your Valentine over, you have a place to know your numbers. Something that we talk about frequently at the Triana Prevention Center and here on the show.
Right, that is, and it's so pretty. It really is beautiful. I've been giving out to people. So we'll remind everybody before we leave today about the Valentine. It's handmade, it's gorgeous. So we have here such a great guest. He's so interesting. Lee Stein, and I'm going to give his information. He's the executive director of the Charlotte Chorale, which we have many patients that are in the chorale.
Singing is good for your heart.
It is, Lee. And you are also the former managing director of the Charlotte Symphony. And there was a wonderful article about you. You're the FGCU moderator of foreign films of the Renaissance Film Academy. You have a background in healthcare. Excuse me. You've been in Florida for 12 years. You have an interest in music, Chicago, blues, movies, baseball, and the Chicago Cubs. Well, you're from Chicago.
I'm from Chicago. We love our blues. We love our Chicago Cubs.
So, Lee, I am so happy that you're here today. And Jennifer and I wanted to ask you some questions. And we want to start off, the whole message we're trying to give out to people is awareness. That's our mission. Education. We want people to understand about their heart, and we also want people to hear other people's story, and maybe they could connect with that. And so I want you to talk about your heart story.
Well, I had a heart attack 12 years ago, and I was the least susceptible candidate for a heart attack 12 years ago. I'm thin, I exercise moderately, I'm a vegetarian, and I meditate. A picture of health.
Oh my goodness, that is wonderful. You did all that.
We left out one important part.
I was going to ask you.
Family history. Family history. My father had had a couple of heart attacks. My grandmother had had a heart attack. So the marker was there. The gene was there.
That's, a lot of times people, and right, Jennifer, we try to encourage our patients to know their family history, because a lot of people are not taught, either they don't speak or the family moved somewhere else, or they don't talk. Another red flag is not just your father, but any brothers and sisters, any siblings.
Mm-hmm. Family history is very important. I would encourage everybody to know their family history. I've shared my family history with my next generation, and it's stuff that they just need to know.
That's right.
My story, at the time I was working for the American Academy of Pediatrics, doctors all around me. I'm sitting at my desk, and all of a sudden I feel a little pain in my arm, a little shooting, and a little sweating. And I'm thinking, no big deal. I've got a stressful job. I'm director of foundation and corporate relations. I have to raise a lot of money. It's stress. I go home that day, everything is fine. The next day, I was doing some volunteer work. I was a trustee of the Oak Lawn Community Library in the town I lived in, and we were doing some reading to kids in long-term care in Christ Community Hospital. We leave there, I get into the car in the parking lot, and I feel it again in the arm and the sweating, and I feel it real significant now, real hard. I go to the cashier and I say, I think I'm having a heart attack. And she said, don't go anywhere. I said, I don't think I can go anywhere. And within seconds from across the street at the hospital, they're there. They're wheeling me on a stretcher, got me immediately into the operating room, operated. Yes, I was having a heart attack. They put 2 stents in immediately, and that was my heart attack. Unfortunately, after the heart attack, while I was still in the hospital, I had a giant hematoma. Do you want to explain what a hematoma is?
Yes, a collection of blood where they put the heart catheter, where they inserted the catheter.
Exactly.
Yes. Yes, it's a collection of blood because the valve, when it gets punctured, the vessel gets punctured and it leaks. That actually happened to my father too. So did you have to stay longer in the hospital?
Well, because of that, they couldn't put the 3rd stent in. So I had to go home for a month until I could get that stent in.
Oh my
So I go
goodness.
back a month later, they put the bracelet on with all the information and everything,
Right.
and they said to me, this is wrong. It doesn't have the date of admittance, it has your birth date on here. And I said, it's got the correct date. And she said, this is your birthday and you're having heart surgery?
Oh my
And
goodness.
I said, is there a better birthday present than getting your heart repaired?
Which is a great outlook.
Yes.
Isn't that incredible?
Yes.
And how old were you?
I was 53 at the time. I was young.
And your father was young also, though, for
He-
his first event.
He was in his early 60s, yes.
Which is important to note in your family history.
Mm-hmm.
And for women too, the age, under the age of 65 of having an event is a big red flag.
When I first went to rehab after the heart and started doing more exercises with groups, I was surprised, shocked by the number of people, men and women around my age, early 50s, that
Yes.
had had heart attacks.
Before it happened to you, you kind of discredit that as a risk.
Mm-hmm. And you assume it can't happen to me. I'm too young. I'm too healthy. Look at me. After I had my heart attack, I can't tell you how many of my friends signed up for Heart Check America. Right away. If Stein's having a heart attack, we better do something. We better get checked. So I was happy that my friends did that.
Good. And we're happy